Have a Great Dane Junior zero-turn mower that will not move on the right side. I have drained, refilled and purged the hydro system, and as long as it's off the ground works perfect and up to speed. Cannot tell if it's the pump or wheel motor. Any help?
Hi, my name is. I will be happy to assist with this here today. I apologize as my info is somewhat limited on this here. Usually if you can turn to the left, okay. The pump is okay, as the pressure from the pump is enough to allow left turning, so it should be okay. For right turning as well. What may be at fault here needing repaired or replaced is the control motor itself. It may not be turning to the right, causing this issue, or activating for right turns properly. This will have to be checked further to see if this is the cause for sure, and in some cases is best done by a dealer or service center that works on this model here to see if the motor needs replaced. Let me know if you need anything else, and feel free to rate my help here, as this is how I receive credit for my time. Thanks, Pete.
The left wheel motor and pump will spin it around in circles forward or reverse, and the right wheel will not move the mower at all. It just makes a bumping sound in either direction. And the pump just sort of roars. When I got it, the guy told me he had put the right pump on it, but the top seal was out and it leaked bad, so I replaced the top seal.
If the seal leaked enough to where fluid loss occurred to a point, this can damage the pump motor itself. I have seen the motors fail like this before in the past on some models, and had to replace it. I suspect this is what has occurred here. I suspect the motor itself needs replaced. Thanks, Pete.
When you say pump motor, are you talking about the hydro pump or wheel motor?
I would suspect the wheel motor.
Well, I'm trying to pull wheel motor, but this is unlike most zero turns where wheel motor just unbolts and slips through the frame. You have to practically tear this one apart, and I see nothing online on how to pull brake drums so that it will back out the frame member.
Unfortunately, this is all of the info I have on this here myself. If you would like, I can open your question up for others here to see if anyone else can assist further. Just let me know. Thanks, Pete.
Pete. What you are telling me is you don't really know any more than I did about this mower. I have checked this for metal particles and found nothing, even pumped out all fluids and refilled and changed filter twice. There are no grinding sounds. See, there is nothing to tell me what is bad and what's not. I have the stuff to replace these, but that's a lot of money to put in a sales item.
It would be best for me to open your question up for others who should have more info on this here. I will open your question up for others here to see if someone else can assist further on this, as there may be others here that may have more info on what to check or do with this issue. I hope you can get this resolved with ease. No need to reply to my last post here unless it is a last resort, as it will keep your question locked to me and others will not be able to view it. If you feel you want to continue to work with me on this, feel free to reply at any time, but keep in mind in some cases it can be difficult to fully diagnose or help repair this without seeing your vehicle. Thanks, Pete. Brake drum is held on the drive motor's tapered shaft. You need a hub puller to pull the hub loose from the tapered shaft. With you having a bump as you work hand lever, I think you will find broken wheel motor. Pump is not near as likely to break from operation. http://www.toolpan.com/atd-tools3057 flange type axle front wheel hub puller _p_2342.html If E equals D5 to 8 D975 E5 54 Fe 9 8677 FF5 F83 F439 and GDFMS equals CFA 9 BD774 DA 4 F47 8473 C772 B3 to 5 and GCLID equals TrueOIU or 27 BRCZS Nizer MRMJ 0 JOP 2 TIB 3 underscore V7 UTS odd ZFGRH GFH MLCH 0 KD 3 G4 88 QFQ 8 PCC 6 Hoax 1 HW underscore WCB.
Curtis, the guy I got this mower from, put this pump on and the top seal was blown and dumping fluid. He said pump was a new one, but when I removed it I knew it was just an old one. Just now I put a complete seal kit in it and I found no metal inside, but all seals were hard. The bump sound and feel is light and only does it when in ground. You cannot hold the wheel after you purge it unless you hold tight before you operate drive control. Once moving just a little you could not hold its stop wheel and there is no grinding sound at all. Also the thing was contaminated with water, I guess, where they had pump off and no cover. I now flushed it 3 times. I want to pull Willock's motor and try to look inside before spending that type money. Just don't understand no metal out of lines or filter. Foam correction are awful.
I would pull the drive motor and inspect it. You know what the pump looks like? BT from the sound of it, 2 pumps have been used, but drive motor is original.
Could have been what was wrong when they tried to replace pump.
Exactly. The drive takes a beating, much more than the pump.
Curtis, this hub is thin, looks like it would just smash when being pulled, it not like most I've snatched off. Does the drum come off first then the whole end assembly? Without getting everything off the end of this wheel motor there is no way to remove it from the machine. I guess my 3-jaw puller won't work. What do I need?
The parts list I looked at showed the brake drum with the wheel studs as the main part, and it is what would be tight and need to be pulled. I sent a link earlier showing a wheel hub puller. Here it is. http://www.toolpan.com/atd-tools3057 flange type axle front wheel hub puller _p_2342.html. If E equals D5 to 8 D975 E5 54 Fe 9 8677 FF5 F83 F439 and GDFMS equals CFA 9 BD774 DA 4 F47 8473 C772 B3 to 5 and GCLID equals TrueOIU or 27 BRCZS Nizer MRMJ 0 JOP 2 TIB 3 underscore V7 UTS odd ZFGRH GFH MLCH 0 KD 3 G4 88 QFQ 8 PCC 6 Hoax 1 HW underscore WCB.
You pull hub and studs all together, then if that's the case how would you put new brakes on it? Does the hub just fall off once it's off altogether?
Once the hub comes off the taper, it falls off, leaving the brake in place.
Everything has to come off shaft or it will not back out through the opening in frame.
Once hub is off, the rest is simple. Brake just bolts on, and looks to hold the drive motor with same bolts.
No, it's separate bolts, brake bolts must be beneath hub. That's why I'm saying the whole end has to come off for it to come out frame. I have never seen wheel motors with this type hub, and I have about 20 in the shop new, but they are too bug for this unit. They have 1 1/4 inch shaft.
Get the hub off, and work in. The hub will be the only part on the motor shaft.
Curtis went and bought me the puller and it won't budge. Impact and penetrating oil, what now? Torch it.
Heat.
Curtis, other than the seals being a little hard I see nowhere to mention.
So pump looks good and drive motor checks out. Where is the relief valve? In the pump, I think. Have you checked it for damage?
Relief valve was good, looks like just seals have dried out and hard. I just need to find the right seal kit for the wheel motor.
Okay.
Curtis, do all the TF series motors use same seal kit?
Yes.
Curtis, after reinspection of the hydro pump, the valve plate has significant wear, probably them trying to get it to operate with the pump top seal leaking bad, and they said they did not know to purge it. I'm thinking this was causing a lot of fluid to blow past.
Okay, keep me posted when you get it together.
I'm looking for the valve plate and assuming it's part number 51444, the pump hash, I guess it's the same as the phone series. PG series, not phone. I want to pull the port A and port B check valves and check the poppets, but man, are they in there. 1/4 of an inch Allen head, and I'm afraid they will strip the Allen head if I put a 3/8 drive pull bar ratchet on them. What you think? Got those out, must have been leaking and they put them in with an impact. An O-ring does not have to be that tight. They had some light corrosion, looked like from water in system. They are flushed good now, just waiting on 51444 plate and go again.
Okay.
Okay, new seal kits in both, and it runs like a champ. But I have an issue with starting. Don't get 12V to solenoid start wire, but I have 12.6V on the wire coming from switch. I can put 12V to solenoid from battery and she fires right up. But from switch I only get a clicking. That seems like a safety switch, but it only had 2 and they check good.
Try a new wire from the key switch to the starter switch terminal. One size larger wire will carry more amperage. Safety switch would keep it from clicking.
That's what I did, and that starts it bypassing all safety. The only thing I see is it has a diode tied into it, or beside it on a small aluminum wire about 1.5 inch long, just from ignition plug to small junction just below the plug.
If the solenoid clicks, the safeties are working. Diode is used to keep voltage from coming back when key is off. Should not affect voltage to the starter solenoid.
I know, I just dropped to the other side of junction so the diode would still come into play if needed.
And if you go direct for test?
Yay, works sweet now, and number 55357 and number 56834.
Thanks.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/ythi.